And welcome back. Bruce Porter joins us now for this week's Dollars and Cents segment to make sense of all of our money. Good to see you again.
That's right. We're going to try to make sense of it.
We're going to try to, because there's a lot to think about every single day. Okay, here is today's question. Should I use an IRA rollover or a transfer to move my retirement account? First of all, let's just start with first things first. IRA is?
Qualified retirement account. It's qualified to be taxed whenever you take it and spend it. So that's what your 401k and other money you've saved through your employer, that's what that is. So now the question is, how do I get it out of there when I'm ready to retire and I don't want to leave it there? How do I do it? Well, there's two ways to do that, a rollover or a transfer. So now let's talk about the rollover part first. There's three things that we really need to know. A rollover is just repositioning your money from there to here.
Okay, right? So for example, your old job to your new job, something like that?
Old job to your new job is a possibility, or if you're done, old job to your IRA. So it's a rollover.
Okay.
Now, the things we got to remember, when it comes to a rollover, you can take constructive receipt, meaning you can take your money out, but you got to put it back in within 60 days, and you got to remember, if your employer that allows you to do that, they're going to do a mandatory 20% withholding. So let's say you got $10,000. Well, they're going to hold $2,000. They're going to give you $8,000. You've got 60 days to do whatever you want with that. You have to put it back in within 60 days, and also you have to put in the amount that was withheld. So you have to make it pure to what it was when it was in your retirement account.
Okay.
And then at the end of the year, you do your taxes. It's a wash. You get that money back, but you give it to the government for a year or whatever. So you got to remember that. It's not the best way.
No.
I don't always recommend that, but a lot of times people are undecided. They get their money out. They're trying to figure out what they want to do. It's very dangerous to do it that way.
And I think you hear the term rollover more, don't you? I mean, that sounds to me like something you would say, oh, we'll just roll it over. And then the next thing you know.
That's right. And you can roll over direct. You can roll over manually. There's lots of ways to do that. It's very confusing.
Okay.
So now, another thing about a rollover, you can only do that once every 12 months.
Okay.
So during a 12-month interval, you can only roll your money out one time. All right, so that's a way to get your money, but it's not the best way. The best way is the transfer. That's taking your money from here to here, same way. It's unlimited.
Okay.
You can do it every month. Transfer to transfer. Trustee to trustee is what it's referred to. Now, you never receive constructive receipt of your money. It goes from that account to this account, and it's simple, it's easy. You come and talk to somebody like me and you say, I've got $10,000 in my retirement account. I want to put it over in my IRA or an IRA. I say, okay, that's fine. We just sign a transfer form and we transfer it direct.
Okay.
That's the best way to move your money. Now, it brings up the other point. Deciding what tool am I going to use to roll my money or transfer my money to. That's where, before you do that, you need to really establish, what are my goals and objectives? What is the priorities of this money? Am I going to let it accumulate for a few more years and go get another job? Or am I going to immediately need it for income? Once you decide what your priority is and what your objective for that money is, then that'll help you determine what tool do I want to use. So I had a gentleman ask, well, I'm retired. Do you want risk? No, I'm risk averse.
Yeah.
But I don't want to make a 0.5 percentage point. So what do I do? So then we look at options that'll give him better rates, better alternatives, better liquidity options, things like that. There's a variety of things we can look at, but it's always based on what your objectives are.
Right.
And we try to tailor it to that. Always ask an expert. It's very confusing, this whole thing. This is National Retirement Planning Week.
Is it now?
It is. April the 11th through the 15th.
Another reason to celebrate.
It is.
Yeah.
But we have to remember, if you're young, start planning now. 40% of baby boomers retiring, and 10,000 of them retire every month. 40% of them have no money for retirement.
That means really no retirement.
So it's a focus that we should all spend more time on.
It's worth it in the long run, for sure.